What's up, everybody? I want to apologize in the start of this video for a few things I'm getting ready to do. If I offend anybody, I want to apologize to you. If this video is too long, I want to apologize to you. I'm going to warn you about something. If you are a faint of heart or you don't like swearing and bad language and cursing, this ain't the video for you. And if there's any children around or something like that, put your headphones on or whatever you got to do. But as far as the offending someone goes, I'm going to say to you like my grandma used to tell me, a hit dog will holler. What I mean is, if this doesn't apply to you, it won't affect you at all. If there's a room full of people and somebody stole something and somebody comes in and says, who the F stole my thing and blah, 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 nobody's going to get offended except the person that stole something, right? So if I'm hitting something in a heartstring for you, I'm talking to you, okay? Now that I got that out of the way, this shit that's going on is fucking bullshit, okay? My father, God rest his soul, he died September 29th, 2019, a couple of months before the scamdemic started. This is a few months, or this is about 9 months before, no, about 10 months, 10 months before I started stacking precious metals, right? Wasn't into any of that stuff. But I realized that when Donald Trump got elected, our country changed. My father, and I'm not saying this because he's my dad, because he wasn't the most outstanding guy. He didn't raise me. My grandparents raised me, his parents. He was a street guy. So I didn't get to know my dad until I was about 24 years old. Actually, he came to live with me in Virginia. That's for another video, okay? He died when I was 44 years old. I'm 48 now. And he died a couple weeks after his 69th birthday, okay? My father was one of the smartest men you will ever meet. My grandmother, his mother, would always talk about to me when I was growing up, because I wasn't a junior, but I was raised after him. He didn't believe in juniors and stuff like that. And my grandma would always tell me how brilliant he was. He ran away from home when he was 13 years old, and he was a street guy, okay? But he was very, very intelligent. This man could answer any question on Jeopardy. He knew the answer to everything. My dad was a hardcore Democrat. And when I mean a hardcore Democrat, all he would listen to all day long was CNN and MSNBC. He told me that Rachel Maddow is the smartest woman on television. That's what he used to tell me. Me and him fell out probably about a week because I had made a statement about Donald Trump, saying that he wasn't that bad or something like that. He got so angry at me, right? So my dad had a bad temper, and I got one too, but he's my father, so gotta respect him. But once he did that, and I seen the visceral and the anger he had towards Donald Trump, I decided, you know what? I'm just gonna go over there and I'm not gonna talk about politics to him. And he just sat there and watched TV all day. So when I would go to visit him, he'd be watching that BS, you know? So what I did was I learned everything it takes, or it is, to be a Democrat. I grew up a Democrat. Not to this extent, not these people, but like the John F. Kennedy Democrats and stuff like that. I used to like Bill Clinton before I knew anything else. I used to say he was the first black president. But now it's getting absolutely ridiculous. And it ain't about the Democrat or Republican Party, because there's some bad Republicans too. It's about the people that are over them. I haven't watched any videos today. I haven't even, to be honest, I don't know when the last video I shot outside, because I've been sitting at that table. I haven't been going outside. You can see I haven't cut my hair. I haven't been doing anything. And the reason why is I've been studying, man. I've been studying a lot about history and what's going on today and how history rhymes and stuff. But anyways, my father, I say this for a reason. My father, to the day he died, could not stand Donald Trump. He was so angry because the Mueller report came back before my dad died. And he was so angry that it didn't come out with nothing, because all he talked about was wait till the Mueller report comes out. And I just sat there. Again, I don't know what's true or not. I'm not going to sit here and tell you that the presidential race was whatever with Russia and stuff like that, because I didn't know. I don't have that kind of insider knowledge. All I can do is just use my critical thinking skills And there's 6 steps to that. Look it up, critical thinking. And you go, that doesn't make any sense, but whatever. But it's so funny how in 2016, when Donald Trump won, nobody questioned who. The other person's wife I just talked about, who I liked, And she actually obstructed stuff. And everybody knows what she did with those you-know-whats, okay? Everybody knows what she did. So my point is this. The reason why I bring my father for a couple reasons. One is that Trump derangement syndrome is real. And 2, it's all about dividing. I'm telling you this story because I know you guys relate. I'm not saying you guys are Republicans or Democrats or whatever you are. You have some crazies in your family, hopefully not that many, that believe so strongly that Donald Trump, the Republican Party, all this woke stuff or whatever is tried and true, and they won't talk to you if you disagree with them. They will cut you off. And the second reason is I'm bringing my father up because he wanted to find something wrong. And when who in 2016 did this stuff and destroyed 10,000 of them, he didn't blink an eye at it. But now we have charges on Donald Trump. He's getting indicted for espionage. Guys, do you know how serious that is? Do you know how serious that is? And I'm going to make a prediction. Let me get this out of the way. Okay? Sorry about the length of this video. I know it's going to be a long one, but I got a lot of shit to say, man. Because this is fucking bullshit. And again, it ain't about Donald Trump. Not getting to that later. My prediction is Donald Trump will not be the president. He just won't. They will not let this man be president. That's part of the reason, another part of the reason, like I said earlier, that I wanted RFK Jr. to win. He probably won't be either. If it's a Republican, it'll probably be Ron DeSantis. And the reason why I'm saying Donald Trump won't win is because they are throwing everything but the kitchen sink at this man. And something's going to stick, man. I said the last indictment is going to stick. You think if this indictment doesn't go through, another one's not going to stick? Or another one's not going to, they're not going to try it again? Of course they are. They used to, the people that are above us, that are evil, that are controlling everything, they used to do this indirectly. But Donald Trump sped up the process of their 2030 master plan. And you guys know what that is. You've seen the documentary. You knew what it was before the documentary. When you know the plan and you know the playbook and you see things going on, you already know what fucking time it is, man. You know it and I know it. They're going to take him down. I don't know how they're going to do it, but they will. And if he does, and my prediction is wrong, and I hope I'm wrong, I hope he does get in fairly if he wins, if he gets the most elections. I mean, most votes, which we already know what that is. Okay? But if he does get in, remember I talked about the other video, we're going to have a civil war? We're going to have one either way. Because the quote-unquote insurrectionists, the bad Republicans and all the people that knew that what 2020 was. Let me stop right here. Let's think about this. Let's start at 2016 or 2015. June 2015. The day that man came down the elevator, oh my God. This country has completely changed in the last 8 years. Think about everything that's been done. Think about what who did with the you-know-whats. She did all that. Then the Russia stuff. He couldn't sue because he's a public figure. You had all this stuff going on behind the scenes on the other side because we're living in a 2-tier judicial system, and you know that. That's how you know that one side of the aisle, 90-something% of them are bought and paid for. And there's a big percentage on the other side too. A small percentage, I feel like, hopefully I'm right about this, and hopefully I'm not wrong, that the Freedom Caucus is not bought and paid for by these people, but who knows? I don't put everybody in the same basket. Some of you guys just think you paint everybody with a brush and say, if you're a politician, you're just bad. All politicians are bad. I don't believe that. I don't believe Ron Paul is bad. I don't believe Chip Roy is bad. I don't believe Lauren Boebert is bad. I don't believe Matt Gaetz is bad. I don't believe Byron Donalds is bad. And there's a few others. I don't know about Marjorie Taylor Greene. I don't know. She's doing a lot of stuff, man. I believe she's the reason why Trump is getting this indictment, because she came out with that press conference, which was great. But I can't forgive her for passing that debt ceiling bill, man, for signing off on it and then being cool with it because her allegiance to Kevin McCarthy or whatever. Kevin McCarthy, up to that point, from the time he got elected or selected to the, he got the gavel from November till now, or from a couple weeks ago, he was doing great until he signed that freaking bill. Then you see the uniparty come out, because there is a uniparty, okay? So the day Donald Trump came down that, sorry, there's a lady with the kids there, I think. The day Donald Trump came down that escalator, I mean, the world was already going to shit and we were already on a plan, but he completely screwed their plans up for 4 years. And they want him out of here. And all the stuff that's happened in between then, the crazy, absolute nonsense that's going on here. Some of you guys are not going to like what I'm getting ready to say, but I got to fucking say it, because I'm going to say it. This is just me. I ain't no nice fucking guy, man, when it comes to this kind of shit. Okay? If you are a child molester and you do any kind of child molestation, you need to die. That's my stance on it. And I'm a God-fearing man. I ain't a big religious person. I'm not. I got work to do. And maybe I'll regret saying that. If you grape a woman, you should be dead. You should die for that. Because those two things, child molestation and graping a woman, there's no need for it. Absolutely not. And the people that are in charge do all the above, especially number one with the children. And those people just get away with it. We all know Jeffrey, you know who, didn't commit suicide. We all know that. You know what happened to him. Everybody knows that. Who's got a fucking brain? But that's the cabal for you. He had too much information on him. And all these people that are ruling the world over in Davos every year when they have those meetings, what do you think happens out there, guys? I'll give you a hint. The same thing that happens on that island, okay? But probably worse. Tucker made an episode 2 yesterday. Absolutely love Tucker. That man needs to be protected at all times. And I hate to say this, man. I hope he's I hope he's secured, man, because he is gonna go off today. I know he is. I'm recording this right now at 11:36 a.m. Pacific time. So I'm gonna edit some video. I'm gonna put some clips in here. So I don't know what time it's gonna go out. Hopefully it'll go up before Tucker's video. Tucker went in his first 2 videos, man. He went absolute in and did not tell one lie. And what did the lamestream media do? Instead of fact checking them, they got to debunk him. They got to try to debunk what he says and talk to their base of stupid sheeple people. Because there's a lot of stupid sheeple people, a lot of them. And the reason I make these videos, I don't give a fuck about views and likes and comments and all that bullshit. I just tell you guys that because I want the message to be spread. My views and everything else has been going down. My comments is not here. I'm not a fucking YouTuber, ladies and gentlemen. As you can see, I just make little funny clips and do my thing and this, that, and the third. I work my fucking ass off, man. And people stop watching, they don't want to hear it, then I'll stop making videos. But one thing I'm never going to do is compromise myself and tell you no fucking lies. I'll never tell you no lie. I don't give a fuck if y'all don't want to hear about Bitcoin. I'm going to tell you about it, whether you like it or not. And you're going to look back on these days, because there's only 2 things going to happen with Bitcoin. Let me say this real quick, because I'm not a future teller, right? It's either going to do what it's advertised to do, what I'm telling you it's going to do, or it's going to do nothing. It's one or the other. I'm going to be one, because there's going to be no in between with Bitcoin. It's either going to be the world reserve standard or currency or whatever you want to call it, or it's going to go to zero and they're going to shut it down. And the probabilities, I don't go by probabilities, I go by probabilities. The network can't be stopped. It can be slowed down by regulations. But have you noticed when that stuff happened with the SEC and Gary Gensler, he didn't talk about Bitcoin? Why? Because he can't. Everything else that's not Bitcoin is a security, ladies and gentlemen. Bitcoin is a commodity. And I don't give a fuck if you like it or not. That's the truth. I had somebody tell me the other day, damn, Jerry, you're always changing your mind. Let me say something about that. When you have a closed mind, you can't change your mind. I am an open-minded person. Am I biased? Sure, I got my biases. But one thing I will never, well, I'll always be closed-minded about, first of all, is my family, God, and this country. I'm always going to love my country, whether I leave it or not. I'm always going to love this country, and I'm always going to love God, my family, and I'll never stop fighting for freedom and search for freedom. I'm always going to go where I'm treated best, and if America goes the angle where I think it's going to go, I'm going to go to El Salvador, because El Salvador is all about freedom. You listen to Bukele, the president there, that guy sounds like one of our founding fathers. I shit you not, look him up.
Llevamos 8 meses en esta guerra contra las pandillas. Y gracias a Dios, la estamos ganando. Esta es una victoria demasiado sorprendente que está ahí cerca. Que quede claro que la gloria es para Dios y que es de Dios. Nosotros, los seres humanos, tenemos la dicha de ser instrumentos de Dios, todos nosotros, para llevarle paz, libertad y felicidad al pueblo salvadoreño. Y nosotros somos el instrumento para sanar esta tierra. Cada uno de ustedes son un instrumento de Dios para hacerlo. La paz no se consigue firmando acuerdos entre corruptos, repartiéndose el poder entre asesinos. La paz se construye con trabajo, con sudor, con esfuerzo y con la valentía que tienen ustedes y sus hermanos policías. Debe tener algo que le indica que uno es parte de algo más importante que uno mismo y que vale la pena arriesgar la vida, por eso que es más importante que uno mismo. Son valores, valores como la valentía, como el coraje, como la fortaleza, la disciplina, el patriotismo, el honor, la lealtad, el amor por el prójimo. Son valores fundamentales de la sociedad humana, pero son valores que se están perdiendo cada vez más en el mundo. Si ustedes ven noticias internacionales, se van a dar cuenta cómo los valores más importantes que tiene el ser humano, como el honor, la lealtad, la valentía, el coraje, el amor por el prójimo, son precisamente los valores que cada día se pierden más, que cada día hay menos. Y por eso ven como sociedades que parecía que ya lo habían logrado, ahora se van degradando, porque están perdiendo los valores que los hicieron grandes. Valores que probablemente no eran fuertes en esta tierra, y sí eran fuertes en otras tierras. Y por eso es que esas tierras crecieron y se hicieron grandes. Pero esos valores los están perdiendo ellos ahora. Y por el contrario, en El Salvador, los valores que antes estaban degradados en nuestro país, ahora son los más importantes. Y si no, mírense ustedes, hombres y mujeres jóvenes, que tienen todos estos valores. ¿Cómo no va a surgir una nación con valores así? ¿Cómo no va a surgir una nación que pone primero a Dios y que luego pone su trabajo y su esfuerzo con este tipo de valores?
But anyways, the only way you can change your mind is have an open mind. You silver stackers out here, you guys are some of the, and gold stackers, you guys are some of the most closed-minded son of a bitches I ever met in my life. And that's the truth. I don't give a fuck if you like it or not. 90% of y'all that tell me about Bitcoin don't know shit about Bitcoin. You don't know anything about it. All you do is listen to gold and silver channels, and you click off mine when I talk about Bitcoin because you don't want to hear nothing because you're closed-minded. I look for freedom. Gold and silver are great, but I know that I'm not going to transact in gold and silver. We're not going to go back in time, ladies and gentlemen. I fucking hate AI technology. Absolutely fucking hate it. But guess what? It's fucking coming whether I like it or not. The reason why I changed my mind on things, like that dude said, again, is because when things change, and I told him this in the comment section when he said that to me, I said, if my wife started cheating on me, guess what? I'm going to leave her. I'm going to change my mind about my wife. The reason why I didn't use those 2 crypto wallets anymore, because they did some dumb shit. I'll change my mind about Bitcoin. If somebody went in there and changed the protocol of Bitcoin, which is highly unlikely, but if they did, I'd change my mind on that too. If we found a big mine of gold and silver somewhere, and the supply went from whatever the number is, and at 100 or 1,000x, I changed my mind on gold and silver because it's not as finite as it used to be. In order to change your mind, you have to have an open mind. So that was stupid to say that. I'm always going to change my mind. I never get stuck on anything. I'm here to fight for freedom. I love my Constitution. I love it. But I'm going to play a clip for you that I saw this morning that summed it up. Because the Constitution, believe it or not, as much as I love it, they're not going by it anymore. Bitcoin's more reliable than the Constitution. Take a look.
It's my strong opinion that Bitcoin is more American than the US Constitution. Same principles, different container, and it's a container that can't be broken as easily, and we're seeing the US Constitution be broken over the past few years.
So these are easy decisions. Do I want to own Bitcoin? Yes, I want to own freedom. Yes, I want to own liberty.
And just to be clear on a couple things. So the lockdowns, that's a violation of private property because you own yourself. If someone's going to tell you that you can't do certain things with yourself, that's a restriction of your private property. Fiat currency supply inflation, that's a violation of the property rights of savers. So if you're saving in dollars and the central bank is counterfeiting dollars, well, then you're having your property violated. It's more than just what we might traditionally think of as, oh, that house is yours, well, here's a gun, now it's mine. It's not just that. There are these other more systemic and I would say insidious forms of property right violation taking place around the world. I don't know what we can do to stop that without Bitcoin.
Now, let me follow that up by saying the reason why that is because all they can do is amend it and change what they want. You heard what he said, and he's right about that. You cannot change Bitcoin, ladies and gentlemen. You can't change the protocol. And if you understood Bitcoin and you studied it, you'd know that. So don't tell me it can't, and leave me a comment. Say whatever you want. Be informed and don't sound stupid if you don't know what you're talking about. If you haven't even read the white paper or don't know anything about Bitcoin except what you hear from another precious metal channel or something like that, and you think Bitcoin's the same as crypto, you're going to sound like an idiot. I'm sorry. Because I sounded like an idiot. I can speak to that. Because I was an idiot talking about Bitcoin. It was stupid when I didn't know about it. If I walked into NASA right now and I tried to talk to you about shuttles and anything, the science or what's going on or how to calculate to get to the moon and the engines of this, I'd feel like a dumbass because I don't know anything about that. And I'd be ignorant. If you're ignorant on something, just don't comment on it. I'm not saying don't comment. You comment whatever you want. But I'm not going to listen to you. You're going to sound stupid. That's why I don't talk about shit I don't know about. But one thing I know about Bitcoin. And the reason I'm going to back that up with what Robert Breedlove just said, and that's a smart guy, man. But of course you won't listen to him. But hey, he's a gold stacker too. He used to stack gold. But of course you won't listen to him because he likes Bitcoin. Because you silver and gold stackers, again, are the most hard-headed motherfuckers I ever met. You guys just are. I'm sorry. That's the truth. And I'm going to back it up by saying this. Have you seen Gavin Newsom's new ad about the 28th Amendment? Take a look.
Every time it's the same. They tell us we can't stop these massacres. They tell us we have to stand by and watch tragedy after tragedy unfold in our communities. They say we can't stop domestic terrorism without violating the Second Amendment, and that thoughts and prayers are the best we can do. I'm here to say that's a lie. In this country, we do have the power to change things, to reclaim our freedom from fear. Our ability to make a more perfect union is literally written into the Constitution. So today, I'm proposing the 28th Amendment to the United States Constitution to do just that. The 28th Amendment permanently enshrines 4 additions to the laws of our land. It raises the minimum age to purchase a firearm from 18 to 21. Because if you can't buy a beer, you shouldn't be able to buy a gun. It mandates universal background checks to prevent truly dangerous people from purchasing a gun that can be used in a crime. It institutes reasonable waiting periods for all gun purchases, and it bans civilians from buying assault rifles, those weapons of war our founding fathers never foresaw. This will guarantee states as well the ability to enact common sense gun safety laws while leaving the Second Amendment intact and respecting America's gun-owning tradition. The 28th locks in the common sense constitutional protections that Democrats, Republicans, independents, and gun owners overwhelmingly support. And it ensures NRA-owned politicians can never strip those protections away. This fight won't be easy, and it certainly won't be fast. Convening a constitutional convention requires 2/3 of the states to call for this. California will be the first. But that's just the beginning. Join us by going to campaignfordemocracy.com and signing the petition. To protect our communities and protect our freedom, support the 28th.
That's the fuck I'm talking about right there. You can't do that with Bitcoin. He's trying to lie to y'all, telling you, oh, you know, don't get guns and this, that, and the third, which is just, California is the most deadliest crime area in the country, probably behind Chicago, maybe. But look at San Fran shithole, man. Look at that fucking place. It's a war zone over there, man. Absolute war zone. I'm gonna tell you this right now, ladies and gentlemen. All this stuff that's going on, this ain't about fucking Donald Trump. If you don't stand for something, you'll fall for anything. I'm gonna tell you this right now. Don't fall for the okie doke. Guys out here working. Don't fall for the okie doke. Do not be one of those people that get conquered by being divided. Don't divide between your brother and sister and your fellow Americans, because that's what the fuck they want. Okay? A lot of you guys keep it to yourself and hide your face with gold and silver, and I gotta, you know, not share it with anybody and not talk to anybody and stay in my hole and this, that, and the third. You're not gonna last long if you don't have allies. And I know what you guys are gonna say. A lot of you guys are gonna say, oh, I try to change their mind and blah, blah, blah. Have allies and not enemies, because it's almost like a zombie apocalypse, ladies and gentlemen. Because the zombies really come out when the Civil War is gonna come out. You already got some walking around now with Antifa and Black Lives Matter. When a black person gets messed up, that's when the zombies come out. But if, let's just say there was a serum that turns somebody into a zombie. They already have it in them. But when a bad thing happens, that's when they turn into zombies. You better hope you got more people that are like Rick Grimes and the rest of the guys from Walking Dead, the good guys, than the zombies. And you got to wake them up to do that, regardless if they don't agree with you or not. I'm talking about your very, very close people and close friends. And some of you guys are not going to listen to me. You're going to say, I've tried everything and blah, blah, blah. I get it, because I still have some people to work on. But no matter what, I don't want them to turn into a zombie and die, and neither do you. We are going to have a civil war either way. I'm going to tell you that right now. And you know I'm telling the truth. Either the Republicans, conservatives, God-fearing, American, veterans, patriots, whatever. If Donald Trump ends up going to prison, which honestly I think he is, man. That's the only way we're going to stop him, unless they do that. Either way, if they do that or put him in prison, which is stupid. People should be standing up now, and I'm going to tell you how to do that in a minute. If they do that, non-violently, by the way, if they do that, bro, we're getting cooked in a pot. We're frogs in a fucking pot right now, ladies and gentlemen, and we're getting cooked slow. We were getting cooked slow. Now they turned up the heat. They're doing it right in front of our faces. So what's going to happen if he goes to jail or gets... You thought January 6th or Black Lives Matter or Antifa was bad during 2020? That's the first thing. The second thing is, you already know how these lefties are. If the Democrats lose the election, and because if what they're going to do is, either way, they got him painted into a corner. Andrew Tate, I believe, because there's no evidence or nothing like that. Again, 6 steps of critical thinking. I wasn't there, but critical thinking. I believe he's innocent. Regardless if he's innocent or not, they've already made his name as a you-know-what and a you-know-what. he's that no matter what, even if he doesn't do any time or not. There's people that really believe that. Because again, a lot of sheeple here. They're going to do the same exact thing to Donald Trump. If Teflon Don gets through all these indictments, because there's going to be more coming down the pipeline, you best believe that, and he ends up winning the election, what are the lefties going to say? You know what the fuck they're going to say. They're going to say, he's a this, he's a that. He didn't go to jail for that crime, okay? All right. But he's that person anyway, because the media tells him that over and over and over again. What do you think the lefties are going to do? Then they're going to say, oh, that's great, Donald Trump's in office now. No, we are going to have a civil war no matter what. And Pride Month is kicking it off. People are already fighting in the streets about trying to groom these children in school. And they'll tell you they're not doing it, but they actually are doing it. And what's even crazier is when you look around at the media and you look at Brandon and all these charges he got against him, you're only going to hear that in a few places. Newsmax, Fox, which, by the way, I don't watch Fox. And I suggest you don't either. Fox is evil. They're worse than CNN or MSNBC because you don't know where they're coming from. At least you know where CNN and MSNBC is coming from. Fox News is some rhinos. They got some pretty good reporters up there, not all of them. And I know they got to make their money and stuff, but I don't watch Fox News at all. Once you got rid of our Rush Limbaugh this time, the greatest reporter of our time, you got rid of him and then tried to silence him. And then you got woke policy agendas behind the scenes. And again, I fell out with them in 2020 when they called the race for Biden early and gave Arizona to Biden. But that's for another video. MSNBC, NBC, ABC, CNN, they won't cover at all these absolute allegations against Biden, which are pretty big. And they, again, critical thinking. They look like they're true, but again, they're allegations. They won't even talk about that, won't even mention it. What do you think they're going to talk about for the next couple weeks? That's why they indicted Donald Trump when they did. It's all about timing, ladies and gentlemen. Because they knew they couldn't just ignore President Brandon's allegations. They couldn't do that. They could do it a little bit, but then everybody's saying they're fake. But at least they got something to shield in front of them, which is Donald Trump. I'm going to tell you, man, these people are pure fucking evil, man. And the Republican Party, that's why I'm not a Republican. And the Republican Party are weak as fuck. They are weak as a soup sandwich. You ever had a soup sandwich? Weak as hell. Okay? They haven't even brought Hunter Biden in for questioning. Have you seen the pictures and the videos for Hunter Biden? Hunter Biden, he belongs in that category I said in the beginning of the video. When you do that to children, which he allegedly does, and I've seen pictures and things like that on the dark web or the internet or whatever, if those things are true, there's a place for him. And they don't even bring that motherfucker in for questioning, ladies and gentlemen. But you got Donald Trump going to New York City and now Miami for a complete garbage charge, which, by the way, his dad, President Brandon, did the exact same thing but worse with the documents. Unfucking believable. Let me say this, and I'm gonna end it because it's a long video. Let me tell you this. It ain't about Donald Trump, okay? It's about your fucking freedom and your country and your family and your legacy. If we let President Brandon back in to this country, they're gonna continue on the downward trend. I'm not a Republican, but you have to vote Republican now. You have to. They're the lesser of the two evils. You cannot vote Democrat. The only Democrat you can vote for is Robert F. Kennedy Jr. I would love for him to get in office, but he won't. So the only way that's going to go, and again, Ron DeSantis, a lot of people are calling him a rhino. The jury's still out for him. I don't like what he's doing, to be honest. I like Ron DeSantis. Unless it's let me say this. Unless it's some kind of fakery that he's trying to get a bunch of votes in, separate the country between him and Donald Trump, and at the last minute, you know, they had it all planned out, and Ron DeSantis was going to be his vice president the whole time. Okay, don't mind what I say. But Ron DeSantis is a fucking rhino. If this is true, if that first thing is not true, and he's a traitor to Donald Trump. Not because you have to have allegiance to Donald Trump. It's because you're an ungrateful bastard. That man got you the job. I like Ron DeSantis, I do. But what he did when Donald Trump first got indicted in New York City, he didn't say a damn word the first day or two. Then when he did, he tried to make fun of him about the porn star thing and this, that, and the third. And he said, oh, I don't have nothing to do with it. You live in, you run Florida, you son of a bitch. Of course you do something to do with it. Again, Ron DeSantis by far, let me say this. Ron DeSantis by far is our best governor, hands down. But he should finish his job, sit his ass back, let Donald Trump become the president. And if he selects you as a vice president, so be it. And be humble, because you wouldn't be where you're at without Donald Trump. Let Donald Trump finish the job, if that's what you want. Because you're a fucking mini-me of Donald Trump, Ron DeSantis, and you know this. And I like you, Ron DeSantis. You like Bitcoin, I like what you stand for and everything else. But you're 44 years old or whatever. Sit fucking back, okay? But again, let me say this. It ain't about Donald Trump, RFK Jr., Lauren Boebert, Marjorie Taylor Greene, Chip Roy, Ron DeSantis, whoever. Again, it's about you, this country, God, your family, legacy. You got to fucking stand up against this shit in a non-violent way. I make these videos as a slight reminder to you. You're stacking all that fucking gold and silver, and what are you going to do with it if this country turns into a banana republic? You think when you try to leave this country, you think you're going to take it with you? I got news for you. You're not, okay? Because you guys refuse to buy Bitcoin. You guys need to wake the fuck up and get your head out of your asses. And if I'm not talking to you, it doesn't apply to you. But if you feel something when I'm saying this to you, remember what my grandmother said. A hit dog will holler. I love each and every fucking one of you. You know that, all right? Sometimes you got to hear it like this, but it's the truth, okay? Get your head out of your ass. Do what you got to do for you and yours. And fight for this fucking country, man. And fight for your freedom, all right? I love you guys so much, and I love this country. And again, I'm sorry if I offended anybody, but I'm not sorry. I'll talk to you soon. God bless you and yours. Peace.